Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Content Talks. My name is Austin Savage, and I am the founder of Savage Content Collective, a full-service content marketing agency, and I'm so glad that you are here. Today, I want to revisit the idea of integrated content marketing. This is something I've talked about before, kind of broken down here on the channel, and it's also something that we've covered in a little bit of depth on the Marketing Should Be Fun podcast. You can find that there as well. In today's video, I want to give you just some examples of what it looks like to do integrated content marketing, like what that kind of looks like in the wild. So if you've watched some of the previous videos or are familiar with this, you might kind of already have a foundation. If you're not, here's just a quick overview. Essentially, integrated content marketing is making sure that all of your content engines, all of your content channels talk to one another, that your Instagram is connected to your podcast, that your podcast is leading people to your email list, that your email list is leading people back to social. All of the ways that people can consume content that you create, we want to make sure that those channels, that those content engines are supporting one another, that they're working together, not working in silos, isolated from one another. The reason for this is that when people can connect with your brand in a lot of different ways, it speeds up the pace at which they build trust with you. We want people to be connected with you in 7 different places rather than just connected to you in one, so that in a week they're getting 5, 10, 15 touches from your brand rather than 1 or 2 touches from your brand in a week. To talk about it like that, it kind of can start to seem, a little bit like confusing. It feels like this really big sort of concept that's tough. But I want to show today how it really isn't. I have a couple emails to show you that we have partnered on, and then I have an article to show you, as well as something over on social. And my goal for today is just to show you how easy this concept really can be to put in action. So the first one here on the screen that I want to show you is an email from the Forgotten Initiative. They do a great job with content marketing. They have email, blog, social, podcast, all of the things going for them that they use in a lot of different creative ways. And their email content is just a really great way that we're able to feature a lot of those other content engines. This has kind of become the backbone of a content delivery system for them, where they are able to share consistent value to their audience week after week after week. So you can see that in this email. It's kind of broken up into sharing blog content and sharing podcast content. And at the very bottom, you can see that there is a postscript that invites people to go check out an Instagram post. Now, this is a pretty direct example of what this looks like in action. It's pretty clear that this is like on the blog, and really highlighting a blog post, or on the podcast and really, directing people to that resource clearly. It doesn't always have to be this clear, but this is a great example of what this looks like. The goal here is to help people understand and get connected to all of these different resources. This email is an encouragement to them on their own, as they are, giving them value, showing up in their inbox, reminding their audience that they exist. But also, if they click over to another resource, this is another touch with their brand. If they listen to the podcast episode, if they read the blog. And our goal then is, that they get subscribed to the podcast over time and start getting updates from TFI there. Or that they click over in the postscript to that Instagram post and start following the Forgotten Initiative on Instagram as well. And we're creating this kind of web of interactions for their brand. Here's a second email from Tara Baum. She's been a client for a little while for us as well. She sells hair products specifically for women with curly hair. She does a lot of cool stuff with a course that she's created for curly hair, and just this whole kind of Instagram following that she has built. She's really built her following over on social. Email is a newer platform for her. And so this is an opportunity for us to keep leading people back to kind of that core platform of where she's growing and connecting with people consistently. You'll see here in this email that a lot of the content is actually just leading people to Instagram posts that are going to educate them about whatever they're looking for. So to walk through this here, you can see up at the top, there is just a kind of general, just like introduction and kind of connecting with her readers that leads into a reminder that the people who are getting this email get free access to a specific course, and kind of invites them into that value. And then from there, we are just collecting different value, leading people towards an organized version of her Instagram feed. Almost every single one of these boxes links over to an Instagram post that dives deeper. They talk about dry hair problems. They talk about diffusing techniques. They talk about different products that people need to know about. They're talking about, a fun post. And then there's just one blog from a different organization that we invite people to read as well. But the whole purpose of this is to invite people into further value. The value of this email here is to organize content, to make it simple for her audience, but it leads them into further value that they can connect with her in a deeper way on Instagram as well. This third resource is a blog from Mark and Jill Savage. They have a marriage ministry where they actually do marriage intensives, where people come to their home and kind of get invested in over a few days. And we did a blog about what a marriage intensive looks like. And obviously, the main goal for a piece like this is going to be to lead people to take that step, to invest in a marriage intensive for themselves. And so that kind of call to action is sprinkled all throughout this piece. But we also were sprinkling some other things here that I want to highlight too. So you can see up at the top, there's a link to, the full kind of marriage 2.0 intensive page. Then we're inviting people all throughout to learn more from other pieces. There's a email series that she has that kind of leads people to learn their story. They have another piece where they shared about like the before and afters of marriage intensives that we're linking to in this piece. All of the images in this piece link over to that Marriage 2.0 page as well. And then at the bottom, this is what I really want to highlight, is that we are specifically highlighting a podcast episode that relates to this topic and a Instagram post as well. There's a podcast episode where they just shared about what a marriage intensive looks like, very similar to this piece that we highlight, to give people the opportunity to take their own journey, to learn more if they feel like they need to get connected to them more, to hear them talk about it specifically and connect to them in a deeper way. And we're also giving people the option to check out an Instagram post where they shared a before and after of the space that people stay in after they renovated it. So you can see all throughout, we are just connecting all the different content engines that are available to them to help people get connected to the brand and chart their own journey. The last one here is simple, and this is just pulling a podcast clip and featuring it on social. This might seem like an obvious thing to do, especially if you have a video podcast already, but this is an example of integrated content marketing. You are showing people who are only connected to you on social that there's another way that they can get value from you and your brand. And you're also showing people who are kind of coming over from your podcast that they will be reminded of value here and that they'll see something familiar, hear something familiar. This is a simple way to kind of connect two of those channels. The big goal here is that by connecting all of our different channels together, leading people from one to the other, and reminding people that all of these others exist, we can build trust more quickly with our audience. And that leads them to be more likely to take next steps with our brand or our organization. Hey, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like, subscribe, do all of the things, and I'll see you right back here for the next one.